Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Bilang pasasalamat ko po sa Panginoong Diyos sa gift of priesthood noong silver sacerdotal anniversary ko, nag-pilgrimage po ako kasama ang ilang matatalik kong kaibigan sa Santiago de Compostela, ito po ay sa Spain. Ginawa po namin tinatawag na El Camino. Siguro po i-google na lamang ninyo. Siyempre yung short version nito na kung saan naglakad kami ng mahigit sa 120 kilometers sa loob ng 5 araw. Second day pa lamang po ng aming paglalakad, nagkaroon na po ako ng mga blisters sa 2 paa ko. Kasing laki ng 5 peso coin ang paltos sa magkabilang paa. Sabi ng mga kasama ko noon, huwag mo nang pilitin. Alam namin sobrang sakit niyan. Huwag ka nang maglakad. Well, setting pride aside, I made the decision to continue the walk. Actually, ang iniisip ko po noon ay ganito. Sa dami at sa laki ng mga kasalanan ko, yun ay maliit na sakripisyo lamang. Yung third day po namin ay siyang pinakamahaba, pinakamahirap, at pinakamasakit para sa akin. Every step I made hurt. And it was taking its toll on me, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Yabang na lamang po yata ang nagtulak sa akin at that time. After 6 grueling hours of walking for almost 25 kilometers, I just stopped because the pain was just too much. Nahiwalay po ako noon sa mga kasamahan ko, kaya nag-iisa ako at that time. I stopped totally exhausted. I felt I couldn't go on. It seemed that I didn't have the physical and mental strength to take another step. Halos hindi ko na po maigalaw ang paa ko. Tawag po ng mga athletes dyan ay hitting the wall. Nahiga na lamang ako sa tabi ng daan. Hindi ko na inalintana na pinagtitinginan ako ng mga taong dumaraan doon. Humilata na lamang ako sa sobrang sakit ng paa ko at sa matinding sakit o matinding pagod. Wala akong pakialam sa mga dumaraan. Pagkatapos ng ilang sandali, umupo ako at kumain ng baong ko, tinapay, at uminom ng tubig. And then, after eating, after drinking, I could feel strength coming back. I stood and got back walking. First time ko pong maranasan ng gayon. I realized in my bones, in the most visceral way, how much I needed food and drink. Naalala ko po ang personal experience na ito dahil sa first reading natin ngayon. Si Prophet Elijah, sa unang pagbasa ngayon, ay isinasalarawan na parang isang runner hitting the wall. Hinahabol siya ng mga trained killers ni Queen Jezebel. Has been running away from them in the desert. At dyan po nagsimula yung eksena sa unang pagbasa natin ngayon. Elijah is in the desert, alone, terrified, exhausted, and has no way out. Elijah is put in a situation so terrible that he prays for death. Sabi niya sa Panginoon, "This is enough, O Lord. take my life. Tama na, Panginoon, hindi ko na kaya. Kunin mo na ako. Subalit habang siya ay nasa gayong kalagayan, an angel touches Elijah and orders him to get up and eat. Binigyan siya ng Diyos ng pagkain at inumin na nagpanumbalik sa lakas niya para ipagpatuloy ang kanyang paglalakbay. Elijah is enabled to continue his journey to the mountain of God. My dear friends, there are times when, like Elijah, we hit the wall as it were. There are times when we become so alienated from God, so far from the source of our life, so weary, so tired, so drained, so exhausted, so depleted of our spiritual energy, so much so that we just can't move. Ang tawag nga po dyan ay spiritual exhaustion. At ito ay bagay na nangyayari sa maraming paraan. Kapag tayo ay masyadong nahihigop ng pagkamakasarili, sariling kagustuhan at pangangailangan, sariling ambisyon at interes, kapag tayo ay tinutupok ng makamundong pagnanasa at nilalamon ng mga material na bagay, when we get stuck in a pattern of envy and jealousy, entangled in a mesh of pride and egotism, caught in a web of anger and bitterness, and trapped in a net of resentment and unforgiveness. Ang lahat ng ito ay naghahatid sa atin sa spiritual exhaustion. There are people, many people in fact, who are spiritually exhausted, but they don't recognize or they don't want to admit. Deep down, they are asking, why am I so lost? Bakit ang gulo-gulo ng buhay ko? Bakit hindi ako masaya? Bakit hindi ako makaranas ng kapayapaan at katiwasayan? Bakit sa kabila ng mga bagay na tinatamasa ko, tinataglay ko, wala akong sense of meaning and fulfillment? Ang lahat po ng yan ay mauugat sa kabiguan natin na pakainin at painumin ang kaluluwa natin ng pagkain inuming ipinagkakaloob ng Diyos sa atin. Muli, sa Ebanghelyo, inaalok sa atin ang tinapay ng buhay. Ang tinapay na nagbibigay buhay. Jesus presents Himself as the bread of life. The Lord invites us to partake of this bread so that we will live forever. Jesus' invitation to eat this bread of life is continually offered at the celebration of the Eucharist. We draw spiritual nourishment and strength from the Eucharist. It is the only remedy to spiritual exhaustion. Kaya ulitin ko lang po yung nasabi ko na last week, nitong mga nakarang araw. Hindi natin maaaring ituring ang pagtanggap ng Eucharistia na non-essential. Para sa ating mga Katoliko, it is the most essential for us. The Eucharist is the bread of life that comes down from heaven. The bread that nourishes our body and spirit, the bread that strengthens us to obey God's will, the bread that sustains us to follow Jesus, the bread that empowers us to share in His mission, the bread that enables us to live the fullness of life. Let us end with a prayer. Lord, having been running away scared from the forces that want to do me harm, I come to you very much aware of and resigned to my spiritual hunger and exhaustion like Elijah. Help me to believe, not just in my mind, but with my decisions and actions, that you are the bread of life, the necessary source of my sustenance. Help me to believe and live in the Eucharist, which is capable of nourishing and strengthening me for all of the trials and tribulations that life can offer. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for the Eucharist.